Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to make vector illustration of hair. So this is the image we'll be using in our design, and I got it from Xray. The link to this image is in the description down below. So open up Inkscape, go over to where your image is saved, drag it over into Inkscape, and let's arrange this and scale it up to our drawing board size. So we'll be making a vector illustration of the hair of this lady. While working on hair, I usually first of all trace the thickest area of the hair, the part that doesn't have much strands. So let's make an object around the thickest part of the hair. Using your Bezier curves tool or your pen tool, let's trace the areas that do not have much strands. I'm not going to trace this area because I would be making strands in that area, but this part is thick enough with no spaces between. Just gonna ignore this region for now. Return, trace along. I'm just gonna ignore this region. Trace, trace, trace. Let's go around the face. Just gonna ignore this section because it has some spaces between, so I'm going to work around it. And complete this off. Let's give it a feel to see what it looks like. This is the major region of the hair, the rest are mostly strands. So let's go over to our objects and open up our fill and stroke dialog box, and let's pick a proper color for this. First of all, let's reduce the opacity. Let's pick a base color for our hair. Let's give that brown. That looks good to me. And let's remove the stroke for this hair. This is taking shape already. Let's make a face. Let's trace the face, so we would know that the hair is on a head, and we will not be too distracted by the other parts of this image. And let's pick a base color for our face. Reduce opacity and pick from image. Increase opacity. Let's give it a more saturation, more lights, more saturation, more yellow, more light. That looks good to me. Now let's send this face backward using my select tool. Let's send it, let's lower it so it's now under the hair. Good. Now using our Xray mode, let's see what we have. So go to view, go to Xray mode. Xray mode helps you to see what is underneath your image. If your image isn't showing in Xray mode, go to edit, go to preference. With that done, go to imported images and check images in outline mode. That would help you, that would make you see the image when you're using your Xray mode. This is going to be very useful, and we need it in our design. So let's start making these strands. We're going to be using our calligraphy or brush strokes tool here. With it we could make strokes. We just made a stroke, but we want it to be more like a hair, more like strands of hair. Tip small, start small, end small. So let's pick one of these presets. I'm gonna pick brush, reduce the width, let's give it a 4. We want the start and end of this to be very thin. Thinning, let's give that -100. This thinning increases or decreases the width of your stroke depending on the velocity of your brush. Okay, faster brush stroke makes it thicker, slower brush stroke makes it thinner. That is exactly what we want to use. Let's give it let's make the width -2. Slow. We want to be making strands. Let's remove wiggle. We don't want any wiggles on our strokes. Let's fixation angle 16. Okay, mass. Alright, let's return to our calligraphy tool. Hold Ctrl and Shift on your keyboard and scroll up and down to rotate your canvas. Now let's make these strands quickly. Using our calligraphy tool, let's draw. And this fill, we want it to be the same fill as the base color of the hair. Let's pick from image. Let's increase the width. Let's give it to 5 to fill in more space. Reduce the width, make it thinner. Rotate the canvas, holding Shift and scrolling up and down on your keyboard. You know what, this doesn't look thin enough, so let's undo that. Let's give it 1. Better. 1 looks thin enough. For this area, let's make it thicker. Let's give it a 4. Then for the rest of it, let's continue with a 1. Let's continue with a 4 or a 5. The idea is to cover the thick parts and to make space for the strands. Let's return to let's give it a 2 or a 3. Let's return to our X-ray mode. We need more strands here. I need a bigger X-ray. Let's go over to preferences on edit, rendering X-ray radius. Let's give it 300. I need something bigger. That is big. Good. Let's work with it 3. Actually, more hair was meant to show here. Some spaces were meant to show here. Let's edit that. Calligraphy tool. Let's keep on making strands. Let's remove the X-ray mode and let's put a background for this. Let's say a white rectangle, so we would see what we have been working on since. Let's send this to the back, not too backwards, but this is what we have: a face with hair. Let's add more detail using our calligraphy tool. No, not with white. Let's let it be the same color as before. Now we have the base color for the hair. It's generally brownish, so let's move this background aside and continue with our X-ray mode. Now for this we would be adding the darker areas of the hair. So we see this part is dark, so let's continue with our calligraphy tool and let's make dark colors for this. On a second thought, I think the base color for the hair is too dark. Let's remove the X-ray mode, pick the base color, let's make it brighter. That looks good to me. Now let's select the rest of the strands. First of all, let's go to edit, go to copy, then select select all the strands. Don't forget to deselect hold shift, click on the face, deselect the face, deselect the base color. Now go over to edit and go to paste style. What that does is it pastes the style of the object you copied. Remember, we copied the base color and we pasted the same color to all the strands. So this looks much better to me, more like a blonde lady. Let's return to our X-ray mode and let's work on the dark areas using our calligraphy tool with 4. Let's draw, and we want that to be dark as well. We're gonna boost up the saturation, reduce the value. That looks good to me. Let's continue on the dark areas. Same goes for the brighter area. Let's give that more light, more value. No, remove X-ray. Let's work on this. I want that to be brighter than the rest. Nice. Returning to our calligraphy tool, let's work it with 3. Let's also use our X-ray mode. Let's convert this base color, this base shape to a clip group, because I want to make a dark area around the face. Let's right click on it, create clip group, right click on it, enter clip group. If you don't have much knowledge on clip groups, you could go to my tutorial. Is down in the description below, and you could get that tutorial on clip groups. So let's make more shades around the face within the base color. Let's give it the same color as this. As you can see, all the strokes I'm making are within my clip group. Let's take this off and add more details to our design. Let's return to our layer. Keep on drawing. You know what? It really takes time to add details to your design. Any masterpieces, I believe, take time to make, except you're on another level. You see, to make a masterpiece you need to dedicate time, put in time to it. To make something that looks good, sometimes it takes time, sometimes it doesn't. Let's work with the base color again, return opacity. You just keep on adding details. You could be more careful with it if you want a more perfect job, but it all depends on you. Hairs have many strands, but you're making vector illustration out. When I am making vector illustrations, I would just make fewer strands. It doesn't really have to have all the details. There was a time I made a really realistic design, and to me the how do I put it, the creativity it left, the creativity behind it left, because it was just looking like another photograph that people would look at. There's a way you make a design, you make it realistic, but at least it looks artistic. It doesn't look like another, it doesn't look like a picture, at least. Yeah. Now let's return our background. There we have it, guys. This is how to make hair using Inkscape. So let's complete the rest of the drawing. There we have it, guys. That is a hair. For a moment, let's take off this face and see what it looks like. Let's take off the background. Let's take off this neck. Looks good. Thank you for staying to the end of this tutorial, guys. I'm really glad you stayed up to this moment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, like. If you have any questions about this tutorial, don't forget to ask. I'll be sure to answer. If you have need of this design file, you could download. There's a link down in the description below. You could download it and use it. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next tutorial.